really recording. I don't need.
No, yours is public record, so it can be FOIA requested.
Okay.
That one is because I can't get those without a subpoena
Okay.
per the police department
Okay.
in violation of California law. All right, where you want to start?
This is your meeting. You came to see me, so you start wherever you want to start.
So you're not here to save the city from getting sued.
I don't have a scheduled meeting with you. You came to see me, so I'm assuming that you want to talk to me about something. So I would suggest you just present to me what it is you want to talk about.
I will start off. Are you aware of the malicious prosecution against me by the police department, district attorney's office?
I'm not.
Okay, let me fill you in. February last year, since lockdown,
Pandemic.
Kids got out of school, had to stay home. It's always happened. Kids do ding dong ditch, or kick and run, or shoot BBs at the window, or kick soccer balls up against the wall. During pandemic, I never said a word. Kids are home. Don't knock them for not being occupied. Most of them are children of single parent households. Empathize. Pandemic ended, it continued. Sometimes violently. My door is broken. It's been broken. The apartment complex hasn't fixed it yet. They say I have to pay for the damage. I said, fine, it'll stay there. All evidence included until the day comes when I have to deal with the situation. After school, the issue continued. It continued. And one day, in my dilapidated state, I am sleeping on the sofa after having a hard night of not being able to breathe and could not sleep. Kids banged on the door, kicked the door, almost kicked it open with a deadbolt on. Took off and ran. Well, it startled me so much that I thought I was in a combat zone. Bolted out of the bed, the slumber I was in, blink of an eye, was out the door with the only form of deterrent I have. Part of the last gift from my father after he died, for which a funeral I could not attend because you can't travel with oxygen tanks on an airplane. And if it's a 10-hour ride, it requires about 8 oxygen tanks for me. And my insurance company in the state has dragged their heels for 3 years on getting me a portable oxygen concentrator. And I've been out of work since. Nobody's going to, well, since lockdown.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to hire a guy who needs 4 tanks for an 8-hour day, plus 2 hour to work, hour home. I went hunting for the juvenile delinquents, not with malicious intent. I was a hospital corpsman. I save lives. I don't take lives. Please forgive me. That day brought back a lot of crap that I had long since buried. One of the kids, a female, blonde hair, pointed to the guy, and I knew who it was that did it. He was the ringleader. 3+ years of him running and then looking out the window to watch him run away and telling me, don't do it again, don't do it again, don't do it again. She pointed him out. He ran from behind a van and started running home. I followed with my remnant of my father's gift as a deterrent. I followed him to his apartment to find out where he lived so he and his mother could be held accountable for his actions. Criminal actions. Trespassing with malicious intent resulting in property damage and personal injury. That's where we stand now. Plus there's like 2 or 3 other codes that I can add to it on top of that hate crime. None of which I want to do. It's not my ambition to hurt a child's life, much less a single mother's pocketbook, for which she's held responsible and she can go to jail for his crime. A morbidly obese, 3 teeth in her mouth, 5 foot nothing. Obvious she used to be, perhaps, allegedly, a crackhead. Every bit of 500 pounds for 5 foot, if that. I'm going to call the cops. He's just a kid. He's just a kid. Call the cops. My apartment's 114. Without probable cause, your police officers approached my house. Weapons drawn, automatic weapons, handguns, assault shotguns. No probable cause because no evidence, no film, no video. All they have is the word of a morbidly obese woman and a bunch of juvenile delinquents. That ain't probable cause in anybody's book. They rang the bell, knocked on the door, stood about 20 feet away with the guns at the ready. I couldn't tell. I didn't pay attention. Safety's off. I pointed to come to the back porch, which is still my curtilage. Nothing more than an extension of my living room. One of your officers, after he saw me, immediately dropped his weapon from the ready and holstered it. Another one of your officers kept his weapon leveled at my head, round chambered, safety off, finger on the trigger. You know how I know this? I got eyes. That ain't happened in a lot. He didn't drop his weapon. I went off on him like a bat. If he had been out of uniform and a civilian, I didn't care whether he had a gun at me. I would jump the wall. He better kill me with his first shot. As it stands, he's going to wish he had pulled the trigger. He's done. He cannot resign. Look me in the eye and tell me you understand. You understand what I'm saying. What transpires may be different. He may get off because of qualified immunity. But he held the gun safety off at my head with no probable cause against department policy.
I'm hearing everything you're saying.
You don't know, you haven't seen the body cam, and you haven't seen our video.
That's
Nobody has, except my son and my psychologist, who I began seeing. Took me a while to get into him. They rushed me in 2 months. I had to wait. To try to get beyond this. The last thing that officer said to me as he was walking away, I'll come back, we will come back with a warrant. A threat. In a reasonable civilian's mind, a threat of violence, because they're under the assumption I had a weapon based on false allegations, a misuse of 911, in which case I got swatted. No other definition for it, but I got swatted. Almost scared out of her ass. Scared for me.
Your wife?
We've been together since 2008.
Okay. Your partner, at least.
She's my wife.
Okay.
She got a ring. I ain't paying a state no more. Screw that. She's scared for me after she heard that. She heard it. It's on camera. Better be on his body camera. I did you guys a favor. I left the door unlocked and cracked and waited. Every night for 2 weeks. Because that's the only time cops come to serve a warrant for a search for a weapon and an arrest. 2 weeks, every night. Didn't sleep. 2 weeks. Might have catnapped. But as soon as I heard the noise, out of bed. So off the sofa. After 2 weeks, I said, fuck it, let them bust down the door. I dare them. Because now it's at the point I can defend my home. Castle Dock. October rolls around, I get a letter in the mail from the district attorney's office saying I have a notice to appear for a crime I have committed. I am assuming I have not FOIA requested because I've been told nothing will be released to me without a subpoena. I haven't even seen my own discovery yet. I am assuming the district attorney sent out a letter instead of an arrest warrant because you couldn't get a warrant for a search because nobody would issue it based on reasonable suspicion. Fine, you got reasonable suspicion. That does not qualify. So I showed. I blew their plan to hell. I showed up for it. Against ADA compliance every day, every court appearance, was not offered to sit at home and do this over the phone. The entire time, at least the public defender would not represent me, would not put forth the motions that I wanted him to. He wanted to run me through the puppy mill like I was a dumb-ass redneck from the South. Oops. He would not put in a motion for dismiss because there have no evidence. All the evidence they have is purely circumstantial. Testimony on a body cam does not constitute probable cause. Case after case after case. Appearance after appearance after appearance. Explained to him on day one, I'm seeing a psychologist, I'm doing this. Told him the whole scenario just like I'm telling you the whole scenario. Finally, on Monday, I had to go to court.
This month?
Yeah. After I showed him the letter from us, I told him the state would not take me in. I agreed under coercion. That's a word I should not use in front of you, but I'm gonna use it. Because he sat next to me in December and said if you were in the room next door, they would find you guilty. We should go for diversion and send you to anger management. You need to agree to anger management. Right then, I said, remove your hand from the microphone. I want this on public record. He wouldn't remove his hand.
Who was that individual?
Neil Gehart.
No, but I mean, was he the district attorney or?
He's my public defender.
He's your public defender. Okay, got it.
Which is suppression of evidence. I was willing to give freely. Reminded him I've been seeing a psychologist since April of 23 to deal with this nightmare. I told him when he wouldn't remove his hand from the microphone, this goes against every fiber of my being because I am not guilty. I'm willing to do the time to appeal this case all the way up. I agreed to diversion, knowing the ultimate outcome. The facility, which is in Porterville, which
Is a challenge because of the oxygen.
Sunday I walked from Tulare so that I could be at my court date
In Porterville?
in Porterville on time,
Well,
because all I had was enough money for a bus ticket home.
well,
Yes, sir. That's why I'm here today, 3 days in a row, trying to file criminal complaints and employee complaints, having been rejected 2 days in a row.
so who have you tried to file complaints with? Us? With?
Police department,
Okay.
2 days.
Okay.
Came yesterday after being denied at the police department again by a lieutenant who wanted to take a complaint against him.
Okay.
You saw the video over and over and over, trying to pass it off on a piece of paper. I don't need it. You don't take criminal. I don't write down criminal complaint. You do. On body cam, on paper, you write it. That way, if you lie on this, your body cam don't lie. And the whole time, I have not broken out a camera out of respect for my public servants who don't want to do their goddamn job.
So you're here today talking to me because you want me, one, to be fully aware of your
Well,
situation.
you now have a complaint that needs to be filed with you over your deputy.
So that's what you're here to do today, is file a complaint.
And, well, you can't take a criminal complaint. The only person who can take a criminal complaint is a police officer, correct?
I don't know that answer, but I'll ask staff who knows that answer.
You can take all employee complaints. They all work for you.
That is true.
So if you want to do that, that's fine. But you'll have to do the homework. It's not my job to do your homework. I can give you times I called.
So
I saw no faces.
I won't do it, but I can have a staff member. I can ask a staff member from my
I
HR
got it.
department.
I got it. You got a job to do.
Yeah.
By the grace of God, I got you sitting in front of me again.
The first time we met, some months ago, it was related to the housing condition
Correct.
and landlord. My
It's
understanding
not done.
is, from talking to my staff about that, they said that they have gone, as from their perspective, it's gone as far as they can go in terms of the
Now,
code.
90 days out, when they should have come and taken a handful of pictures and it had been done.
So that
Then-
we're not here to talk about that issue. We're here to-
That, in my mind, that issue is solved.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so now this is this issue that we're talking
I
about.
am more than happy with the service I got.
Okay.
When was that, yesterday or day before?
I think it
What's
was
today,
before.
Wednesday or
I think it
Thursday?
was Monday.
It couldn't have been Monday. It
No.
had, no.
Well, it must have been,
Cause I met with them on Monday here in that conference room after my court
oh, then it
hearings.
came out Tuesday?
Right, after I got
Okay.
home, cooled off a bit, drank some water, I walked all the way up here to check and see if I could get some stuff done.
Do you mind if I go ask a staff member if they'll join us so that they can take the complaint?
That's fine. I do not know names. They would not give names.
We'll do the best we can with the information you have.
I will do the best I can by giving you time of phone calls. You'll have to equate that with whoever works the desk over there and answers the phones.
Yeah.
Um,
So let me pause this while I go get them.
go do your thing.
Okay, I'll have to start a new record. Hold on.
That's fine. That's fine. You can,
It's not working. Okay, give me a minute. I'll go see if I have a staff member that can join.